Alright guys, it's Mr. Stooksbury here. We're going to talk about climagraphs. This is going to be your instructional video about climagraphs and how they work and what they're made up of. And then you're going to take that information that I give you in this video and you're going to use it to complete the assignments that I put in here, the climagraph quizzes that you'll use. That's going to be your assignment for today. You can use this video to go back and look at it if you need to, whatever, so that you can understand what we're doing. All right, so now what we've been doing so far is we've been talking about different biomes, right? These represent where these biomes are located in the world. We've been talking about the characteristics of those biomes, all right? But what we're going to do today is we're going to analyze climagraphs that represent each biome. We're going to learn what a climagraph is, and we're going to talk about how they work. Why do we need to do that? We need to do that so that we can recognize what biome is represented and explain how that climate impacts the plants and animals that live in that biome. The amount of precipitation and the amount and the temperature affect everything in a biome. So we need to understand when we look at a climagraph which biome it's representing. And I'll know I have it when I can correctly identify what biome is represented by each climagraph. So climagraphs are just the marriage of two different graphs. Okay, this over here is a graph of what? Monthly precipitation in millimeters over a month. So in January there was 100 millimeters. In September there was like 70 or 75 millimeters, right? You know how to read a graph, right? It's pretty simple. Over here we have an average monthly temperature in degrees Celsius by month. Well, we have a common thing here, right? Months are both on the bottom. So in a climagraph, they're going to take one side of this or the other. In this situation, they've taken this information right here, and they're going to flip it to the other side. Now, that doesn't change the value, right? Because this line is 18 here, it's 18 here, it's 18 here, it's 18 there. It's 18 all the way across. So if that 18 is written right there, and it's not written right there, it's still the same thing. Still the same amount. So a climagraph is just kind of the marriage of these two together. So that you can see them laid over top of one another. So these are the two graphs when they're separate. And then this is what those same exact graphs say when they're together. Look here at January, you've got 100 millimeters of precipitation, right? January, 100 millimeters of precipitation. September, right here, you got about 85 or 90 millimeters of precipitation. Right in here, 85, 90, right there. See, we're in the same spot, man. These things are exactly the same. This is all this information. I just split it out into two different graphs, and then it's in one graph here. So climagraphs show precipitation, which is rain, right here on this side, and temperature, which is listed on this side. And right down here's the legend. See, this is your temperature, up and down, and this is your precipitation in millimeters. This is in degrees Celsius. This is in millimeters. Bars are always precipitation. At every correctly made climagraph, you can see that the bars will be the amount of precipitation and the dots will always be the temperature. Precipitation is always measured in millimeters on a climagraph. Temperature is always measured in degrees Celsius. Now, we don't measure in degrees Celsius here in Knoxville in the United States. We measure in degrees Fahrenheit. We also usually measure in inches instead of millimeters. So we're going to have to learn how to convert those two things, okay? It's not difficult. In fact, one of you, I'm going to even let you use a calculator on. There's a calculator on the internet that will figure out how to get the inches, the millimeters to inches right. So it's very simple to do. You just have to go through a step or two to do it, okay? Precipitation. To figure out precipitation in millimeters, I want you to open a new tab, a new Google tab, and type in convert millimeters to inches, okay? Convert millimeters to inches. So if I come over here and I open a new tab and I type convert millimeters to inches and hit enter, it's going to pull up this right here. And no matter what I type in right there, 200 millimeters is 7.87 inches. 150 millimeters is 5.9 inches. 500 millimeters is 19.68 inches. No matter what I put in there, it just converts it for me. It's very, very, very simple. Okay, that's how I do millimeters to inches. You just open it up, plug it in this calculator, and hammer down. Okay. Temperature, you're going to add 32 to get to the Celsius number to get the Fahrenheit number. Okay, so if the temperature in May is 20 degrees Celsius, well, 20 plus 32 is 52 degrees Fahrenheit. That would be the average temperature, 52 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's whatever number we find on our graph for temperature, because right here it says average monthly temperature, right? Average monthly temperature is measured on this side. Now, my average monthly temperature right here is not 40, right? Just because it's closer. That's not how this works. Average monthly temperature, this is precipitation, this is temperature. So you have to pay attention to what side you're measuring from. Okay, you have to pay attention to what side you're measuring from. Now, how much precipitation was there in June in millimeters? Let's start off in millimeters. I'm going to ask you that question first. How much precipitation was there in June? All right, how much, and that was in millimeters. How much was it in inches? Convert that millimeter number to inches. All right, now what was the average temperature in June in degrees Celsius? The average temperature in June in degrees Celsius. All right, now I want you to convert that Celsius number to Fahrenheit. Now remember, we just talked about how to do that, so you can rewind the video if you need to and look that up. All right, you can rewind the video and look that up if you need to. But these are very important questions. These are the same types of questions you're going to do on your assignment for today, okay? So you need to practice them and do the best you can with those. All right? Now, if you have any questions, remember, you can always send me a message in Canvas, and I will get back to you just as soon as I can. And you just keep clicking through this module. Click next at the bottom of the page every time, and it's going to take you to the next assignment. And you just make sure you got everything done out of this module, and you'll be good to go. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later.